Hi everyone, how you guys doing? This is Jay Abraham, the founder of To Know Your Academy, the Love Journey. This is your love doctor. So as you say here is part 1 and 2 of both why you're feeling emotionally drained. A lot of you guys here that's going through this video at the moment, this is mostly not for the people that's doing the personal mastery. The people are doing the ultimate freedom creator, or this is the ones that are doing the full year work with me. And it's basically just to make you understand a little bit better about yourself and make you understand why you are emotionally drained inside and you're not feeling capable, or you're not feeling strong enough understanding who you are. So there's two different parts because the video is going to be a little long, so I'd rather break it into two different parts. So just please watch 30 minutes and watch another 30 minutes. I always love sharing stories and sharing wisdom stories to make you understand each segment of it clearly. But with this one, very straightforward. Make you understand how the easy steps how to find out if you are emotionally drained, and a little bit of strategies here and there to identify why you are feeling this way. This way, you'll be able to find out the demon that's within you, rather the demon that you don't know. Fair enough? Let's get this started. So, feeling of emptiness. A few people come to therapy because they're feeling empty inside. It's not a disorder in itself, Sorry, it's like anxiety and depression, but it's more a generic feeling of discomfort, lack of feeling, being filled up that may come and go. Others experience more as an emotional numbness. You may have a general sense that you are missing something that everybody else has, or that you are on the outside looking in. And it's very scary because you think, why am I not as happy as others when I have more than what others have? Or even why others have a happier, more successful in everything and they do, even though I have the better education and I have the determination, yada yada yada. It's because you don't see yourself as a successful rich person. You see yourself as that inadequate, incapable of love, and you always seek out to find other people in order to make you feel comfortable. And let's continue. This may feel somehow set apart, disconnected, as if you're not enjoying life as you should. The all side effects of this cause of emptiness, which is emotional neglect, and I've discussed that. And if you guys going through this, then you'll be able to also go through two to three other videos that I'm sharing with you guys in regard to understanding yourself as a whole, understanding yourself as how to become independent. If you're already going through the videos, then don't worry about what I'm just saying. But people that don't understand this emotional neglect, just know that there's another video that discuss what emotional neglect is. So your formative years, you usually spend alone and lonely with very little feelings between yourself and your parents. The emotional substance that you allow you to connect to your parents, people, and the world is generally absent. So in general was absent. Sorry. You will eventually grow up in an emotional vacuum. You try to fill yourself with peers, pots, and parties. You sought out girlfriend after girlfriend, hoping they would fill you with meaning and connection. None of these strategies work, and in the end, it looks a lot of therapy. It took a lot of therapy or counseling to make you feel inwards, not outwards. For instance, make you look inwards, not outwards. I'm not sure. I'm not feeling today, right? Yes. So this is for a lot of you guys that does tend to have a lot of feelings of. And some of you guys that's already going, you don't have to go from one girlfriend to the other or one boyfriend to the other or relationship, but it's more of you, even if you're still with that partner for such a long time, but you're not feeling satisfied and you're wondering if that's you or your partner, you're feeling this relationship is going nowhere, but I'd rather be with someone than be alone. I'd rather stay here and make myself feel like I'm proud of myself, or I feel like I'm good enough because look, I'm telling the world I do have a girlfriend, I do have a partner to make me feel comfortable. And that feeling itself is the reason why you're continually feeling empty. You're trying to justify your world, you justify your life by the external stimulation of factors rather than you looking inside of yourself. So you have to learn about emotions, accept with you have emotions So accept that you have emotions and allow yourself to feel them in order to experience the substance, the richness, and the meaning of life. Only then are you capable of having a relationship that has substance, richness, and meaning. The fuel of life is feelings. If you're not filled up in childhood, we usually fill up as ourselves as adult. Otherwise, we'll find ourselves running on empty. And again, many of these terms might be foreign to you if you have not seen the other video. But if you have, then you understand exactly what I'm saying here. Nothing in your life, if you had a goal, a dream, a wish, a prosperity, a motivation, determination, anything is driven by your fuel, which is your feelings. If you can attach a feeling, a passion, a compassion towards something that you're moving forward in your life, then you will forever run it dry. And because of that, you're going to run on empty. Without you expressing those feelings and emotions and understanding them very well and adequately, you will forever be lost in transition, lost in who you are rather than what you potentially can become. Oh, that was deep. Whoa. So let's continue. I love myself sometimes. So let's keep going. So that's what you become. You become out of fuel. Many neglected people have it in a much milder form and not so tortured by it. But even the mildest form interferes with a person's ability to engage in and enjoy life. At its most severe, it can drive people to consider or even act on suicide. Neglected people, that doesn't mean I don't mean physical neglect or physical abuse in that situation. What I mean by neglect is emotional neglect, and that concept is very new to many people. And for them to find out, again, the other video will share with you that. But emotionally neglected is where you feel, even though your parents are comfortable, capable, and healthy individuals, they were not there for you in the moment of crisis or in the moment that you need them most. And because of that, you felt alone and you felt what? Emotionally neglected. Now, let's continue. Here's a sign of the signals of signals of emptiness. At times you feel physically empty inside. You are empty, emotionally numb. You question the meaning or the purpose of life. You have suicidal thoughts that seem to come out of nowhere. You are a thrill seeker. You feel mystifyingly different from other people. You often feel like you are on the outside looking in. So, and I love this concept, and I think this was me when I started my journey, and I think this is me it speaks to me so highly. And this is a concept was portrayed by Dr. Jonas Webb, a psychologist, that's in the Department of Emotional Neglect, and she mentioned counterdependence. So dependence in dictionary means determined or conditioned by another, relying on one another or on another for support. And independent can be described as not determined or conditioned by another, not needing to rely on another for support. Counterdependent people go to great length to avoid asking for help, to not appear or feel needy. They will make every effort not to rely on another person, even at their own greatest expense. They will become what? An island. Even though you couldn't recall your parents even actually telling you such a thing, you absorb it. And because you absorb it into every fiber of your being, that it becomes part of your life. It becomes, this life was for you. It becomes part of your identity. They know it at a young age that you have to be alone and work on your own. That was me 100%. If you have a problem in school, you wouldn't tell your parents. You knew you could handle it yourself. You have a complete freedom to do anything you wish after school because your parents seldom ask where you were. They know you were a good kid, so they didn't have to ask or worry. Even though you enjoy the extensive freedom from rules and structure, you grow up feeling deep within yourself that you were alone. You tell the message that you internalize from the freedom is don't ask, don't tell. So you understood from a very early age that your accomplishments were not to be shared, nor your failures, difficulties, or needs. You just say, okay, whatever. I'll just do things on my own. Nothing matters. Nobody cares. Who gives a crap? So as an adult, you present with emotionally constricted and self-contained personality. Other frequently described you as aloof. Your wife or your partners would find it hard to connect with you. 100%. You would tell your parents, girlfriend, friends, or partner in any way that you love them very often, but seldom show any emotions, positive or negative. They would point out that you were a wonderful provider, or a person, or a great dad, or a husband, or a wife, but would describe the relationship as empty and meaningless. You would sometimes feel connected to your children at a very close age, but then you would despise the fact that you feel important to them, which means now what? They rely on you, they need you, they cherish you, they want you in their life. You're like, oh, damn it, they love me, damn it. You might even have the fantasy to run away and live on your own on a lonely island or a small little room in my little house. Right? Your relationship with your parents, you would be able to sum it up with one word: cordial. Silent signals of counterdependence. You have had feelings of depression, but you don't know why. You have an inexplicable, long-standing wishes to run away or simply be dead. You remember your childhood as lonely, even if it was happy. Others describe you as aloof. Loved ones complain that you're emotionally distant. You prefer to do things yourself. It's very hard to ask for help. You're not comfortable in close relationships. No compassion for self, but plenty for others. That's the second term, the feeling of emptiness. So the first one was counterdependence. The second one is no compassion for self, but plenty for others. This is just to make you understand why you are emotionally empty or running on empty, out of fuel. Fair enough? So the other two type of compassion we have for others, and the compassion we feel for ourselves. Emotionally neglected people have plenty of the former, but little of the latter. They are often very forgiving for others' foibles and flaws, at least on the surface. And I want to mention one of my students. I like to say them, call them students. I know my students that's going through the journey, but I feel if you know who you are, I think this is your field, and I hope you understand that. And I'm not trying to call you out, but I want you to pay attention, very close attention to this segment. Okay, continue. Others find them easy to talk to because they appear non-judgmental and accepting. However, they tend to be quite judgmental and a perfectionist when it comes to themselves. Compassion often fuels our donation to charity. It motivates good Samaritan behavior and can help us heal from life wounds. It is the cement of friendship and help us to forgive those who wrong us. There's a lot of dialogues that you have with yourself on your head, questioning things such as, what's wrong with you? You can't even park the car right. How come you're so fat? How come you can't do things right? No, you can't, sorry. How come you can't do things right? Why don't you have friends? Why don't you have a relationship? Why my dad and these people don't love me? Why things are not working properly? Why am I so ugly? Why am I so unloved? Why am I not good enough? So on and so forth. Any tiny error will bring a litany of interior judgment or judgments that she or he would never apply to a friend or any other human being. So you tend to become more stringent, more strong, more negative towards yourself than towards others, which is weird. Usually, not necessarily the requirement, happens when within divorced parents or parents that have separation and the moms or dad and getting remarried. Even though some parents love their children or love you very much, they tend to focus on their new relationship and tend to ignore you on occasions. Therefore, you start what? Relying on yourself for your own independence and relationship. Pay less and less attention on what the parents doing. So you are left to manage your own difficult emotions about changing life circumstances, such as parents in your relationship, loss of parents, or even could be changing your own life, changing your own relationship, devastation, loss of business, lots of moments where there was crisis and something that you need a parental advice or comfort at least. The lack of compassion from the mother causes a predicament resulting in a lack of compassion for yourself. I say mother, but it could be dad, or it could be both, or it could be some of an idol figure in your eyes. In other words, you are left alone to manage yourself. Due to the loss of internal parental voice is entrusted by your parents throughout your childhood, you become your own internal parental voice, such as errors make you feel stupid. You will have low tolerance for any errors that you might make because it interrupts your own security. So if you make a little small mistake, since you don't have your parents' voice in your head to discipline you or to make you understand that you did something wrong, you begin to fight the cause or fight it in a way that you make your own internalized voice, so you can also correct yourself or over correct yourself when you make a tiny little mistake. You start to scold yourself for any near mistakes or small mistake, thinking that it would help to make you feel better and possibly make fewer mistakes in the future. Your harsh internal parental voice or your harsh internal parent took the simple approach and taught you that you will be better doing everything exactly right, or you will suffer the consequences. This is what you tell yourself. So it never really happened, or no parent ever told you that, but you have to overcorrect yourself. As a result, you become paralyzed by disappointments and anger at yourself. While you are busy parenting yourself, other children who were emotionally nurtured were learning how to forgive themselves. When they brought home poor grade, their parents were trying to discern the reason for it, talk to them how to correct it, and communicate to the child that everyone slips and falls sometimes. Now here's your signals and signs for inadequate compassion for self. Others often seek you out to talk about the problem. Others often tell you that you're a good listener. You have a very little tolerance for your own mistakes. There's a critical voice inside your head pointing out your errors and flaws. You are much harder on yourself than you are on others. You feel angry with yourself. I think that's pretty much, yeah. So that's, the 6 of them. Yeah, that's 6. Brilliant. So that's so the next one.